do want to point out, actually, is the Team Liquid head analyst tweeted out his team power rankings last night and put Golden Guardians as his #4 team in the LCS. So I think it's actually very interesting to see that high praise from an LCS champion. That's actually pretty cool. And either way, these were two of the teams that were challenging for that top 3. That if you're looking at TSM, TL, or C9 getting upset and someone taking them, usurping them in that top 3, it's probably FlyQuest or Golden Guardians coming in for doing it.
Yeah, what better way to hone your skills but versus your playoff opponent once again. Varus off the table, so that bottom lane safety there that definitely had quite a good performance on. Not going to be available. The Aatrox, of course, we've had off the table for quite a while since that first game. The healing on the current patch has gotten out of control, and nobody wants to deal with that anymore, especially in team fights. He still brings a big AoE and can sustain long enough for at least for team fights to get a kill or assist, so you basically don't have a downside.
All right, will we get to see Yuumi in this game as Silas is banned off by FlyQuest and Golden Guardians? Are they gun shy? Do they care about JJ first picking it? Can they get it themselves with a bargain? Keep in mind, Jace is still up, as is Akali. Several important champs are still available. What is it you want to remove? What can you counterpick? Time ticks down, and they will ban Yuumi. I'm a little bit sad.
Akali still available without the possible Silas answer, as well as the Rise. Like, there are a lot of possible flex picks. I think that FlyQuest, to me, has been one of the teams that did utilize it, especially for top lane, a lot of those carries extremely well. Okay, so they are going to grab that one. Rise is going to be the flex of choice.
All right, Jace and Akali as high-profile solo laners still available. We'll see if one of those gets grabbed. There's the Jace right away. And do they care about Akali, or is it somewhere else they're going to go? And that's actually an insta-lock on the Ezreal right away with only Varus denied. They said, no, we're going to grab this as soon as possible, and it means that they can be flexible in counter-picking one of the lanes.
And Crumbs, you're getting a little bit of a hover here from Santorin himself on the Vi. Crumbs, for some reason, completely hates the champion. That was what they used last time around. He said, Santorin, for the record, said he wasn't going to use it again himself.
Fair enough.
But I think there's a little shout out to himself. They get the double lock on in the end. Xayah and Rakan for the bottom lane. Now, a lot of people have kind of gotten off of the Ezreal hype train as of recently because of the speed of the game especially. Where do you stand, Freak? Because I really do think that the Xayah Rakan right now is so strong. And Golden Guardians opting out of that for the early Ezreal pick here. Seems like it is giving some very good power over to Wild Turtle and JJ, who have been a very strong bottom lane.
I think Xayah Rakan is incredibly strong, especially with Essence Reaver getting 10 more attack damage a couple patches ago. I think all the ER carries, Sivir kind of next in line, are very, very strong right now and are top tier. But also Manamune also got 10 more attack damage, so Ezreal did, and that's a power spike. That's his first item he ever completes. So, he's still got, I think, a solid early to mid game. I actually think I want to see more Triforce Ezreal come back. If you need power soon, Triforce is a bigger power spike. It delays your third item, but you're not going third item. You're going 2 items powerful. So that is a way to kind of keep up if you're going high pace. But I think he's completely workable, completely fine as well. But I think I would also just generally pick him in games where I need the safety as opposed to just blinding him all the time. Vi and Skarner banned away the Golden Guardians. They took the Rek'Sai themselves. They wanted a high-prize jungler and then banned the next 2 down the list.
Maybe we will see one of those possible roaming supports that can have a big impact then and to be paired with that Ezreal. I know that Golden Guardians generally want their bottom lane to be safe. So they can focus on their solo lanes. That just makes sense to me with the lineup that they have, the actual players. Hauntzer and Froggen, this top triangle of the map along with contracts, should be kind of where they make most of their early game plays, just based on what they're fielding. So let's take a look here. They did, a lot of Froggen targeting, especially with the Vel'Kais here. Don't want to have to worry about that long-range damage. Froggen has been one of the very, very diverse mid laners, I have to say. He was super early onto the Lux train, played the Vel'Kais, a lot of these long-range, high-damage AP mid-lane scaling champions.
So Tahm Kench, round 2 for Ole here. Keep in mind, this is Tahm Kench with updates. Moves slower, Ally Devour is not as good in that regard, but has a lot more stats and a lot more damage, generally speaking.
Yeah, he's actually quite a strong top laner now, by the way.
Yeah.
For solo queue, if you have a melee matchup especially.
Speaking of strong top laners, We get Pyke again already. Everyone's trying to pick up the G2 champions now, popularized by Wonder. Pyke's in the mix.
And popularized into the Jace matchup. So once again, we can explain the Pyke passive allows you to deal with a lot of the harassment that Jace pokes out early better than a lot of other champions. Plus, the main strength here of Pyke, of course, is the mobility and the possibility of those all-ins. You can set up your jungler very effectively, so we expect a very offensively oriented jungler. Jarvan, definitely a good combination here. You can gank from multiple angles and put pressure on that lane.
Well, that would just be exciting, of course, right now, as we have Ryze in the mid lane as the known matchup. So what does he like to play into it? And yes, we get Froggen Anivia!
Now, I know a lot of people have not watched this game for quite as long as us, but Froggen has been associated with Anivia, this champion, for almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
Basically, since the game started, since Anivia was out, Froggen has played this champion in the mid lane. Definitely one of the most iconic player and champion pairings of all time. And it has very frequently been picked into different iterations of Ryze throughout the life of the champion. Because Ryze has always been this shorter range mage, the large AoE ultimate and the wall of Anivia have always been very good tools against this champion. Now, you'll want to just kind of farm early and farm up your tier and get your blue buff. So whenever you see this type of stuff happen, you think a lot more importance on blue buff invades, and we're going to have to look at those timers.
Yep. Oh, I'm going to show for pro view real quick. If you haven't, you should watch Froggen play Anivia in this one. It's going to be exciting. None of us can do what he does. Pretty damn good of the champion, but it's going to be exciting all around the board. Viper wanted to say that when you think of FlyQuest, I want you to think of me first. I want to be that good of a player that I take over and I'm the one. He's on Pyke versus Jace. We saw Wonder absolutely slaughter games at MSI on that champion, beating teams like SKT when doing so. And Viper, if he's going to take down Golden Guardians on this Pyke, he's got to step up as well. It's going to be an exciting one. We're getting ready to go on to the Rift. Both these teams, very, very sharp squads. 1-0 for Golden Guardians, 0-1 for FlyQuest. We can see it turn around today here. We are on to the Rift with a very exciting champion select.
Yeah, I just, once again, want to go over all the incentives for ganking a Pyke lane.
Yeah.
Yes, the Pyke, if you don't gank the lane, is going to get pushed in, is going to get harassed down. But Pyke has such good all-in with the mobility, with the Bone Skewer for pulling him back. That's gank setup. Plus, he can share you money if you get the kill, and he's level 6, has the ultimate. So definitely going to be a lot of jungle attention towards that top half.
Full 300 to the Jarvan. So that 150 for the assist, if it comes through. And waiting around for what's going to come in as Ezreal pokes out, tries to do some damage.
Is he going to be able to get a Klepto proc?
He's got a ward already.
A more valuable Klepto proc.
How dare you? Vision saves lives. You just tried to say bad things about wards. Typical jungler.
I like this strategy with Ezreal, not going for the max range Mystic shot. You just walk up, wait for their dodge, and get your auto first.
Yep.
Then fire your Mystic.
Yep.
So you can get an extra chance. It's a similar strategy with a lot of skill shot champions, especially early in the game where there's not that many variables you have to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Well, early pressure goes Golden Guardian's way. They get that ward in Tri-Brush. It will not be a leash, though, from the FlyQuest duo. It's going to be Jarvan just taking that red bias lonesome very slowly. Rek'Sai doing the same. Red buffs do have a negative armor, so it's very quick for auto-attack focused junglers to take them down solo. That's why Rek'Sai is soloing red as well, is it would take 20% longer if it was blue.
Yeah, plus blue doesn't really do much for
your jungle clear
red side early on. No. And you also always want to clear out your red side because of the AoE camps and all the extra experience in there. We'll see, because they're both going to end on this side, at least for the very beginning here. And we talked about Pyke Jace being such a volatile matchup here that if left alone would benefit the Golden Guardians. If you leave it completely alone, Haunter is going to be able to get turret plate money, is going to be able to get that harassment, is going to be able to get the CS lead. It's about the extra variables that you have to throw into the matchup that give Pyke the threat and the reason that we saw it picked in international play.
Yep, it is a ganking lane. It is not one that's going to win outright in the 1v1. It'll withstand in the 1v1, but that's the best it does until you help it out here. So we'll wait for when that comes through. And right now, his teammate Santorin has cleared his top jungle and is going to be walking back down to the bottom side. It was red to blue to Gromp. And now as we wait 30 seconds for the scuttles to spawn, Contract's going to find a ward, get himself 10 gold, and not a lot of vision denied. It was going to time out pretty soon anyway. He'll have a camp lead. It's going to be 2 camps pretty soon for Santorin. 20 CS to 12 plus a ward.
And they are going to split the scuttles top here for Contracts. Again, he wants to focus on that top side of the map to keep Haunter in the 1v1 and try and avoid any sort of interruption there. Meanwhile, Santorin now has an option for the bottom half of the map. You can see he could go for an invade here with his bottom lane pushing up. There's a big advantage for FlyQuest in the early game on this bottom half of the map. Golden Guardians want to have a safe bottom lane, but picking Ezreal Tahm Kench cedes all of your early game map control on the quadrant of the map, and that means that here we go, we are going to have that invade. We get the move up from JJ, and they'll be able to take away and punish Contracts due to their bottom lane pick.
And it's interesting because it doesn't feel like Contracts had to give away his blue buff. He wasn't challenged until this point in the game, but he chose to say, okay, top quadrant, I'm going to wait 25 seconds for top scuttle to spawn, then take it to say that Jace can keep pushing, and kind of gave that space. There was time to go for his blue before that invade ever did happen, but he indexed towards making sure that Haunter could keep pushing, could keep Viper down, and it means, yes, he loses blue, but it might be worth it in the long term for the top lane matchup.
I think it's definitely worth it, given the composition that they have picked, and given that even if you can go for your blue, it will be a risky fight, right? Anivia early on, not very good at roaming down to collapse for you, and your Ezreal Tahm Kench lane also will have to give up CS at their turret if they come to help you defend with that.
Yep, just the path he took, and that's where he ended up there. It's still Golden Guardians up about 300 gold overall as a squad. Nice Devour, gonna get Ezreal away from the knockup, and trade of cooldowns. Now that Devour cooldown is very long, but it's definitely safe.
Yeah, and that's the bonus of this duo, right? The safety. Tahm Kench, Ezreal, most safe bottom lane basically in the game here. And you can see definitely just firing from afar with the Mystic shots. Ole has put a lot of time in on Tahm Kench. Has been quite on point with the Devours as of recent. Contracts, see if he gets any movement.
Smites up for both these. Okay, it's going to be grabbed by Santorin. Now level 5 to the 4 of Rek'Sai. And you can see it's 4 with very little XP to that purple bar. Going to go for a bit of a damage spike here. Conquer on both these sides, and it means he's got the attack damage. And pushing Santorin out of his jungle with the level deficit's pretty nice stuff, but it is a 3-camp lead for the Jarvan, a full level and a lot of extra gold.
Contract's getting very deep now, even though his Jace does have the priority in the top matchup. It's actually so deep in the jungle that we see Viper kind of edging towards this area too, and Pobelter could easily collapse first.
Ooh, big damage on a definitely. Big shots coming in there. It's no mana on the Xayah, but definitely low on health. We'll have to maybe use TP. Not going to find that hook. And Konic's able to walk away, but still down those 3 camps we talked about.
So,
go ahead.
It is turning into a bit of the top lane CS lead has been sustained with all this jungle pressure top for Golden Guardians, you know, keeping the Jarvan away. But Jarvan focusing more on the farm is actually gaining that money back in the jungle matchup. And it's not going to take too long before the Jarvan has a super substantial lead over Contracts, where it becomes even more threatening here. And with him picking up the challenging smite, gives him a lot of opportunity to turn the tides here in this early jungle.
Definitely agree. Well, haven't seen the TPs come out of the bottom laners just yet, but plenty of money on both these players. And there out goes the Xayah. Pickaxe plus a couple of long swords. There's a lot of extra attack damage early on. There's the TP to come back in the lane.
Oh! Oh! What's going on with this CS? He just gets 2 of them down to 1 more auto attack and hits those first 2 CS.
I missed that. That's unfortunate.
Really? Yesterday you were popping off about everything.
I was looking at the items on Xayah and I was like, wait, what are you popping off about? I think pickaxe double longsword's fine.
Yeah, what was on screen there? Yeah. I don't know.
My eyes were elsewhere.
Meanwhile, topside, Viper is going to have to use the TP early on because we saw him collapse down to chase Contracts out of the jungle. And it is answered here very quickly by Haunter, who's going to be able to use this early lethality to continue to throw out the damage. FlyQuest have made the choice not to try and go gank for this pike, and they're just going to take over bottom half of the map. Froggen's coming over with the roam, though, on Anivia.
And the duo lane to the 3-on-3 right now. Rise coming down a little bit afterwards. Smite is not available on the other side. It's going to be early, and now it comes in. Nice pickup there for Contracts. Big damage coming across as the kills already come through, and that egg is safe, devoured for breakfast, and Pobel's going to get himself away just barely. But now Wild Turtle, he's going to have to burn the flash, and Golden Guardians get the Drake plus First Blood.
Ooh, nerves of steel right there. Santorin has to smite early to survive. So he smites early on the dragon to try and get out, then he cataclysms and flashes away. But Contracts, not only does he, as the Predator here, get the chance to have the second smite, he just holds on to his because he's full health. He's not getting ignited. Yeah, you can see Santorin smites early for some health. And it's actually not even that much health since the Ignite was on him too. And then since Contracts also was able to damage him, he still gets the kill. So that is just complete jungle domination right there with Froggen leading the counter.
Yep.
They chase Santorin off of the dragon, get the early smite out of him, so the objective goes to Golden Guardians, and then Contracts also with the damage tag gets the Rek'Sai ultimate and also ensure that they get the kill for Froggen. This is very, very good news for the Golden Guardians. Not only is that a kill early on Anivia, one of the best scaling champions in the game, but it's an Ocean Drake for mana regeneration for one of the most mana-reliant champions.
Definitely powerful right there as Ezreal gets a little chunk onto that turret now as well. And this is Golden Guardians looking very good. 2,000 gold ahead. And sadly for Viper, he has not yet gotten any help from his squad. This is good early pathing and pressure to keep the junglers away. You can see Contracts really spending a ton of time. Now he's hatching a ward. To be fair, this is not a stealthy land shark by any means at all, but Contracts helping to make sure that Jarvan is not coming up to help Viper, that Contracts instead is there, so that if Pyke defends the turret, they can kill him, and he is playing to that plan quite well. You're not seeing it in the KDA, but you're seeing it in the CS difference.
Yeah, and the turret plates here. Hunter able to push up, get a lot of money off of those. 1,000 gold, pretty much exactly here for Hunter in the lead on the top side of the map. And because of the dragon fight, the bottom side also just completely flips. FlyQuest were the ones with the big advantage on bottom half of the map. That was their point of power, but that was completely wiped away and completely reversed in that last Dragon's attempt.
Absolutely. 10 minutes in, and every single member on Golden Guardians has more gold than their opposite member. Plus the, of course, Ocean Drake regen, and they are certainly, by all rights, in the driver's seat here. So we're looking for FlyQuest to do something to flip the script, to stop their way away from the 0-2 potential start right now. Golden Guardians still feeling pretty good. Hanzo's still pressuring. And that turret, yeah, has already lost 3 plates, and I guess he's safe to keep autoing. Now, the dual lane has been swapped around, so FlyQuest did do something. Wild Turtle and JJ are on their way up. You've got Santorin maybe coming that way as well, so maybe you see something. But now with Pyke spotted, Hanzo knows that he's got Zyracon coming near him, and with that control, already safe to do this.
Yeah, I mean, this is just wins all over the place for Golden Guardians. On the bottom side, Deftly and Ole get their own turret plates. They also have this big CS lead for themselves now. They've been able to get 10 off of the rotation. Whenever you send your dual lane up to the top side first, you're going to give up about a whole nother wave of CS pretty quickly. This Rift Herald was chased off, though. Santorin moves over. He gets Contracts off of that one. Because they've got the duo walking up, though, Golden Guardians will not have to give up on that objective. They can turn right back around, double down on it, and ensure that they do get Shelly.
Mid pressure with the dual lane hitting all the way up as well. Yeah, they'll lose a wave in the bot lane, but they're going to get Herald for it, which is worth a lot more. But now, oh, nice wall. Jarvan can't get in. There's no smite to live. VEQ's over, so that's a pickup right there. Grabbed by Contracts, and a pretty clean execution. FlyQuest pushed out of that objective.
As you said, Viper did get to push a minion wave into the bottom turret for FlyQuest. So that is their tiny, tiny consolation prize. Trying to quickly shove with the Tiamat once again, try and get this cannon minion wave into that turret as well, and he should be able to finish off 1 plate for himself, while JJ and Turtle get at least 1 off the top side too.
So yeah, it's actually a fair bit gained by FlyQuest. If you consider that Rift Herald frequently becomes 2 to 3 plates, FlyQuest gets 2 to 3 plates, plus like 2 waves of farm in each lane. So, you know, thinking all back about it, maybe not a lot was gained by Golden Guardians by that play. And here we are in a game state that's a little bit closer than it was before.
Yeah, Pobelter making use of the phase rush there, as you can see, getting out of the AoE slow and wall. JJ goes in for the knockup and getting a little damage, even though their recalls were interrupted. I have to say, though, Golden Guardians, especially, you know, with this Anivia pick, it combines really well for mid-lane sieges. They have Jace, Ezreal, Poke with Anivia safety for pushing up. Anivia is so good at sieging because of the ability to create your own terrain with that wall and the giant AoE area of the map that you get to control with your ultimate. It makes it so easy to set up the sieges with massive Poke coming through. So in addition to the big gold lead, it's also going to be hard just tactically for FlyQuest to play out the rest of the game. And it's going to have to be coming from those surprise factors, right? Ryze ultimate and the Pyke mobility looking to catch Golden Guardians as they're rotating between objectives.
And there's first turret, 610 gold gained on the Anivia. Top lane turret dropping pretty rapidly as well. TV going to be burned here by, looks like Wild Turtle to show up and keep that one from falling just yet. But this is a massive lead in a lot of places. Golden Guardians, 5 plates mid, 4 plates top. And they've gotten 3 in the bottom lane. This is a massive full court press where every single lane feels like they are winning. Cloud Drake picked up without issue as well. Look at the timestamp early on in the game. Golden Guardians smashing this one.
All right. Where are FlyQuest going to try and mount their defense here? They have lost mid-turret, which is basically the most critical point. So it makes it very difficult, and you kind of have to put in control wards on both of those flanks where your mid-turret went down to still be able to pull off your movements to the side lanes. And without really being able to get that vision, it's a lot of guesswork. And guesswork is very, very punishable versus a team that has Tahm Kench and Abyssal Voyage available.
That's true. Breakwin Abyssal Voyage does have a much shorter range than it did last time we saw the camp at MSI, but still gets you around the map, still does make the plays.
It's actually incredibly short. I just played it top lane the other day in an autofill game, and coming from the fountain, you can only barely even get to your first turret by your inhibitor, so it is significantly shorter. I do like your point there. It's not nearly as threatening, but between the jungle like this point, since Golden Guardians are pressuring in so hard, it is still a bit of a threat.
Definitely can matter. You can still get behind people. It still is faster than walking. We'll see if they can find that opening just some point in this game. Hasn't yet, but time to be played still. 5,000 gold remains the difference here. Golden Guardians on 2 turret kills with top lane turret below 1,000 HP. That's not going to take much to knock it down. Froggen going to be laning top side still. Spellbook is on cleanse right now to get away from Rune Prison into Jarvan ganks. So far hasn't needed to burn that, but has it available. Stacking up the full greedy build. Aroa plus Seraphs on the way. Rod of Age is already stacking. The Tear of the God is probably about halfway in. Yeah, almost exactly. I was off by 3.
All right, since we have a bit of time, I'm not sure how useful this is going to be, but I'm going to try it.
This is great.
I'm going to try and draw a circle around Tahm Kench where the new ultimate is. It's like that range. Boom!
I would have loved to cast it right then. It was like under the yellow line.
That would have been perfect. But that's about the range of the new ultimates that you're kind of talking about. In any case, the roam up the river here is seen on wards, but there's nothing that FlyQuest can do about it. With the numbers advantage here, Golden Guardians are able to push it in. That is all 3 outer defenses taken down now, with them taking all of the turrets. And as you can see, the turret plates heavily in their favor as well. All that's left for me with this lineup is an easy siege. You have Anivia, Ezreal, and Jace. Just siege up at the tower, you place the Anivia ultimate down, you poke through with the Ezreal and the Jace, and if anyone steps forward, the Anivia ultimate will be a huge detriment to the engage. So again, FlyQuest need to make a vision play or a big flash play from one of their champions that has big crowd control, big mobility.
I've got a question for you. Outside of obviously keeping your side lanes in control, because of course you don't want to drop farm, do you actually want the Jace with the other 4, or do you want them just, you know, kind of 1-4 and join when convenient?
I think a lot of that is determined usually if you look at the possible hard engage or the ability to just brute force down the turret. And to me, I think they have the ability to brute force down the turrets.
Okay.
But I do like your point. You know, you always have to worry about Ryze split pushing on side lanes, and they're keeping that in check right now. They don't have to siege up. Personally, I think that it's just so overwhelming when you get those 3 champions together, though, that you can actually just force your way straight into the enemy base. And the side lane still not even answering the side lane, actually not going well here. So they might have to change plan.
Yeah, true. Right now, it's the Merc Treads on Anivia helping to make that matchup not as bad when he does face Rise, but he's with the squad. They get the red buff steal. Pobelter denies some farm and chunks out Hanser, and he is getting just some headway down here. Took an empowered shock blast, but he's safe to auto attack. That turret may just fall, and perfect game averted as the first turret will finally drop in the favor of FlyQuest. There's the pickup. And Pobelter, it feels like a lot of the pressure is actually on him. I think back to yesterday as well, and I feel like Pobelter was actually quite good in their match against C9. I think he is increasingly becoming maybe the required carry on the FlyQuest roster.
Yeah, Pobelter definitely has been a huge player for FlyQuest, and him being on that Rise and the split push that you're mentioning is kind of their way out, right? They're going to try and keep him in the side lane, try and keep that pressure going so that they can make that surprise play with the Pyke, with the Jarvan, and Rakan, try and catch somebody moving between objectives on the side of Golden Guardians. Dragon coming up, though, is going to be also beneficial for the Golden Guardians. They should be able to take it very easily for themselves. Full control wards around the objective, and they can easily snag this mountain, setting up, for the possible Baron coming.
Well, Mountain Drake going to be knocked down without any issue at all. This will be a 0 Infernal game. Golden Guardians knocking these Drakes down in pretty rapid succession. There have been 3 minutes and 50 seconds of total Drake alive time. The walk forward to exhaust on Turtle. Of course, the ult up's going to be a big root on top, and this is a clean disengage. The duo burns one ultimate, walks right away. Blast Cone gives him space, but actually, Froggen actually could have cut them off if he kept going left. There could have been space for a wall. There will not be a pick off there, and now Centurion gets an auto attack onto Ole. Out they go.
Yeah. A couple of summoners used by the spellbooks of Froggen and Ole to try and chase down Turtle, and actually getting out the ultimate might open up a window. I don't think that there's any sort of super hard pressure, though, because the only hard engage is a flash from Rek'Sai, right? This is mostly the group up, and you gain value through your team fighting of poke, sieging, Anivia, right? It's not a dive composition. It's not a hard engage. This is a much more slow, whittle you down type of style, or open up at an objective. With Mountain Drake and Baron coming very quickly, they also have Ocean Drake regeneration available to them. That might be the play for Golden Guardians. Control the Baron pit, control the game.
There's actually a very interesting synergy that's in this game based on Drake's picked up. So right where the Rek'Sai is right now, in that quadrant of the jungle, that little avenue, that is the most common route to walk from blue team up to Baron, which is a very, very easy Anivia wall. You got Ocean Drake to make sure you can siege Baron whenever you want. You got Cloud Drake to get in range for the wall easier. Keep in mind, back in the day, Anivia's used to go Swifty Boots just to get in range for wall more easily. That was actually the meta boot choice. So those cutoffs can be massive for splitting the team and getting team fights.
All right, they're doing it, Freak. Grouping up as 5. Contracts actually finds Pobelter.
Oh, that's going to be a route. Here comes the wall over the top, and Pope doesn't have a way out. A flash of safety, and now a re-engage is going to find the Anivia. That's going to be a quick save now for Ole, but Pobelter at 5 HP has to walk back away. Almost Mystic Shot. That almost flipped the uprights right there.
Pobelter doing quite a bit of DPS there as he fights his way out long enough for the team to get him out of there. He definitely gave Contracts a surprise and made him flash backwards. Golden Guardians, though,
gonna find the re-engage. The Power seems to not be available, but definitely able to still answer back. No route found, and the wall's not gonna find much of anything either. Nice poke, though, to force the flash away, as JJ's now summonerless.
I think that Golden Guardians need to keep up the pressure, continue to keep this siege going, and poke. They're actually dispersing, though, going for a reset.
There's no wave just yet. They got to wait 12 seconds regardless, so it's going to be Hanser running to the right-hand side to grab a minion wave. And as those minions reinforce, it is not going to be sieged with. Golden Guardians got to essentially trade summoners back and forth, but no meaningful gains aside from maybe a camp or two stolen, and out they go.
Is he going to see it?
I think that range exists. I think he does see it.
I mean, is he going to stop for it?
No.
Sometimes you just can't be bothered, Freak.
Yep.
Control ward, not worth my time.
Yeah, I agree. Who needs to get rid of Vision?
What you do in that scenario is you ping your teammate with the Vision ping. Hey,
it's on 7.
Someone take care of this. Take out the trash.
Yes, take out the trash. Double put a PSA about that. It's important to do. Environmentalism is good for all of us. 5,000 gold remains the Golden Guardians lead, though. We are 22 minutes in with a single kill. Picked up quite a while ago. Mid-jungle synergy working well there.
And again, I really feel like Golden Guardians, this is a very strong sieging composition. After the reset, I actually didn't pay attention if they got any key item upgrades, but that would be what the reset is for. But I think they should return to this big strength of theirs. It looks like they're going to try and once again sweep out the Baron, force FlyQuest to try and walk through one of these jungle corridors for Anivia to set up. There's no longer a flash on Pobelter or JJ. Possible targets to get punished.
Pobelter still trying to find that opening up in a Haunter. Nice shock blast finds some damage, but it is still the side lane that is somewhat going the FlyQuest way, but he only gets so much at a time. GGS can come back into siege. They haven't gotten a mid-turret for a while, but now there is the rank to ultimate. There's the push of Pobelter. He just barely gets away with it. No knockups to be found, and out he goes with the Realm Warp.
Pobelter is just fighting as hard as he can to keep some form of pressure for FlyQuest. Again, he pushes out. Here we go, though. JJ on contracts.
Couple of knockups. Three-shot rush over the top. Santorin very low on health. Not quite killing contracts either as he jumps away. And here comes the first TP, and Pobelter running fast. Wall comes up, looking for Froggen, who's out on the wrong side of the fight, but not pulled in by Viper. So he's got reinforcements now. Looking at the possible re-engage out forward with the Iceborne. Got some decent damage out of Deathly, but they aren't going to push any farther. Again, no kills, and back to the siege.
That one was actually really well played by Froggen to get the Anivia out of there. We're the slowest base speed champions in the game, and that opens up Golden Guardians, take down this turret after the break from FlyQuest. They're going to continue the siege, push forward on this cannon minion. Can they get the inhibitor turret as well?
Pretty good pull, pretty good wall. Viper jumped down pretty low. Got the regen back up. He'll be healthy, but that was still good damage.
All right, they got to continue the siege here. 50% left on inhibitor turret. Pobelter not back yet, so FlyQuest can't answer.
That is gone. We're 24 minutes in. Only a single kill, but the base is broken. Golden Guardians not giving FlyQuest the openings.
Poke compositions will often look like that. Siege compositions will often look like this, where there are so many more objectives taken rather than actually kills given over. Unless FlyQuest make the commitment, it's not really up to Golden Guardians to look for those kills, right? We mentioned it's basically just if Froggen makes a really good outplay and finds an Anivia wall or stun or something, or if Contracts flashes in on the Rex side.
They're actually looking at Baron right now, and this is partially in Fog of War, so FlyQuest have to turn off this ocean right away and say, oh no, they started Baron. Off they go. Now Froggen without blue buff can eventually by fighting Baron like this. The mana pool can be relevant. They're still trying to burn it down. The wall stops JJ. He's not going to get in range. They don't have the smite either. This will be the pickup. Well timed down, but now can they disengage? The wall is on cooldown. JJ doesn't have the flash to try. That was burned so long ago in the prior siege. They will not be stopped, and Golden Guardians, in the face of FlyQuest, take the Baron.
And fairly rarely do we see Barons come down to that close of a rush with a Mountain Drake actually being the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Like that extra damage from the Mountain Drake really helped Golden Guardians burn it down before the arrival and the super big threat of FlyQuest engaging on them in the Baron pit. That was just a couple seconds away.
Yeah.
And the difference made up by that neutral objective. So Golden Guardians playing that timing very well for themselves. And now with the Baron buff, your options are so easy. They have a very strong siege composition. They have the strongest sieging tool in the game now with Baron buff backing it up. This should be a group and push.
Shouldn't be too hard to do. You can see the rest of FlyQuest understand this, and they are grouping near this part of the map as well. For now, Pobelter is clearing the mid lane out for the supers, but bot lane 2-2 is going to fall, and Golden Guardian still without a death. Death cap also completed now. Luden's Echo done for Deathly. This is going to be a lot of power. And with 8,000 gold ahead, looking now at the next turret. A nice wall stop to go to the engage tools.
Flank here possible from Pobelter. You see the rise in the top corner of your screen, but Golden Guardians also saw that rise head in.
And they see Pobelter right now as well. They're so happy to push forward. The inhibitor will indeed drop, and Contract sitting in the wings is there to kind of mark the rise and make sure he doesn't get in without too much, without getting in cleanly, I should say. And now they keep pushing in. They're going for the next turrets right now. We're 27 minutes in. Here comes the engage. A nice flash in. There comes the done. This is the fight that FlyQuest must win if they're able to. But Froggen is pushing back Pobelter. The damage is not quite there. Look for Hanser. That's the pick of the Viper needed. Now looking at Olay. A couple more hits and he's going to survive. And he's going to be killed through this. Now Froggen is going to lose it. Down into the egg. Pobelter is dead. They will have the damage left for this. And there's a second shutdown. Now looking for a third. Are they going to find it? FlyQuest. Oh, they're going to lose another one. JJ drops down to Deathly in a 3v3 on the map. But 2 kills. crucial shutdowns for FlyQuest mean a little bit.
FlyQuest fighting there. Viper actually gets the reset, gets 2 kills, and shares some gold with the Pyke, but the damage has been done. Golden Guardians demolishing the base. That is 2 inhibitors down now. Super minions will flood through the bottom half of the map. Let's take another look. FlyQuest backs against the wall. They know they have to go for it now. Nice engage there by JJ. Follow up from Santorin and Wild Turtle, getting a big chunk onto Haunter, and then very nice pullback there from Wild Turtle. And Viper follows up with the ultimate, getting the execution. Belter on the top of your screen, by the way, distracting the rest of Golden Guardians, trying to draw them away from the real threats. They take down Froggen plus the egg in the meantime. And that is probably the best that FlyQuest could hope for in this scenario. So very well played by them from a losing starting point. Golden Guardians, though, can pick up where they left off.
Oh, and they're going right on top of the enemy squad, but now Froggen is eggless, but he's got a squad around him. They're ready to keep pushing onto this one. Looking at top lane tier 2, the gold lead still 6,000. Golden Guardians still very far ahead. Baron's gonna drop off the surviving members of the squad, but they're ready to keep going. Mid and bot still pushing in. Middle inhibitor respawns in 30 seconds. 3 minutes for the bottom lane as they wait for the next wave. Coming in 10.
How quickly can FlyQuest deal with these super minions and then get back to try and make another fight? This time, the surprise not gonna be there. Golden Guardians know FlyQuest only have one option, and it is
Warp to bring in the melee, looking for the hard engage. Look at the front line. They've caught Froggen a little bit, but the Devourer keeps them safe. Still, one is picked up as Haunter drops. 5v4, a chance for FlyQuest. Santorin part of the stopwatch. Looking to the re-engages Viper. Some damage coming in, but they're going to force back the Jarvan, and that's a nice wall. They might have it. No! He had teleport, and Wild Turtle shell betrays him. He's gonna drop down into the 4v4. This should be easy for Golden Guardians to regain that inhibitor and take control of the entire map now. But still, looking at the re-engages FlyQuest. JJ can't really get through. That wall completely stops the rise. And one more auto attack will drop down the inhibitor. Now look at the play towards that rise, towards Pobelter. He's fast, he's gonna walk back, he's gonna stay alive, but GGS is gonna keep sieging in this 4v4. Looking at the next round, the flash in. They're gonna find the stun. That was beautiful from Froggen. Gets the kill in the opposing mid laner. Into the fountain they go. That's a bit too much. But soon the next will be open. It is a 3v3. This timing is a bit tight. The TP to rejoin now as Haunter respawns. Make it a 4v4 as Wild Turtle respawns now as well. The turret is down, the siege continues. That's a big stun though. They might find it, but Devourer is gonna keep us real safe. And the kill now on the Viper. 4v3, look at the next kill. They're gonna find Santorin. They're gonna get the next one as well. And Wild Turtle this time is just going to die. And Golden Guardians, an undefeated weekend to start the summer split. A 2-0 start.
Froggen's iconic Anivia picked up here, supplemented with Jace and Ezreal poke damage. Provides a very good siege composition and way for them to end out this game. Even though there were not many kills early on, it was all about the objectives. And the Golden Guardians will join Cloud9 at the top of the table, our 2 undefeated teams in week 1 so far.
Yeah. And Golden Guardians now shows us an entirely different look as well. Their win yesterday was one of early aggression and high pressure. This one was actually still a fairly quick win, I do believe, but it was much more controlled. It was Contracts willing to sacrifice a quadrant of his jungle to make sure the top lane matchup couldn't be ganked. And it ended up being the right play. Haunter was very far ahead. This is a team that got, I think, 12 of 15 plates by 14 minutes. Full court press completely worked there.
My favorite part is just watching Froggen's Anivia. It's very difficult for Anivia to dodge a lot of skill shots, but he uses Zhonya's very well, his flashes very well, also even just the footwork there, or the mouse clicks, I guess.
Yeah. Wing work.
In the in the mid lane, as well as a couple of those fights into the river as well. And I just think that it's very, very promising looking forward for Golden Guardians. You mentioned the multiple looks that they're winning with. That is always one of the biggest things that teams like this that are aiming to crack the top 3 teams in the LCS. They need versatility heading towards playoffs and heading towards those big best-of-5 matchups. Even though we just started summer, everyone is still so hyped up from MSI, from international competition, and with the success that we saw, that everyone's looking for the next step already.
Yeah, well, the step forward for Golden Guardians is to keep winning, and we'll see more of them next week. But also, we're going to send it down to Avali, who's ready for an interview with League's most iconic Anivia main.
He said it for us, so I don't have to. Froggen, congratulations on the win. And this is the first undefeated week 1 for Golden Guardians since the creation of the org. So congratulations with that. Starting 2-0 and starting the split off 2-0. What does that do for the team compared to the rough beginnings of previous splits?
I don't know what it's going to do yet, but hopefully we're going to be more relaxed. Last split was very, very stressful. We lost to, it was mostly middle of the pack teams we started losing to in the start, so it's very hard to make it into playoffs. But now we're off to a good start, and hopefully it can be more relaxed.
And it seemed like we were almost seeing a different Golden Guardians. We had this game. You guys looked like you were in control for most of the game. Only a single kill from you until about 25 minutes in. So what has changed within the team?
Not much, I guess. We're just trying to play more together than just everyone playing alone, I guess. I'm not really sure what changed.
Has there been a shift in mentality? We spoke with Ole yesterday, and he's going in all Zen mode and trying to work out meditation.
I guess so. I don't know.
All right, well, let me ask you this then, because coming into spring, a lot of people were super hyped for Golden Guardians and then a little bit of a rough start. Now, with this undefeated and pretty strong performance to start off the split, should people start getting excited for Golden Guardians?
I don't know. I think we have a lot of issues from last split too, but we haven't really shown it these 2 games. But I think we still have a lot of work to do. And if we want to be with TL, TSM, and NC9, who's the top 3 teams, then we need to work very hard and we need to improve a lot.
Well, Froggen, thank you and congratulations again. And for more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avli. Another 2-0 team in the Golden Guardians as they take down FlyQuest, who move to 0-2. But this one, we get another Pyke top. We get the Froggen and Anivia mid lane. We got a whole bunch of fun picks in this one, but it ultimately is Golden Guardians who prevail.
We got to put an end to this this Pyke top. We're not G2 here,
no?
guys. All right, let's.
You're already done.
Yeah, I went off the train. Let's start thinking about, can we play Pyke before we play Pyke?
Hey, I like a lot of the drafts around the Pyke.
I was going to say.
I think they understand drafting for the Pyke.
Okay.
This one was better because you already had the Ryze, who can do okay into Jace, and then you still could have flexed the Jace mid, but by the time you take the Pyke, at least it wasn't completely blind. You're pretty sure you're getting the Jace matchup, which is what, Wunder was picking it into. You survived the poke, you survived kind of that brutal laning phase, and then you gank it with Jarvan, who's a great ganker. Mm-hmm. The game plan's all there.
So Pyke is super aggressive, and we're looking at the game in Pro View, but I thought, well, is there something, could something be wrong with Pro View? Because I only see red. I see nothing blue. It's something missing. And it turns out, no, our system is immaculate.
Yeah.
It really just is that FlyQuest did not do anything.
I mean, in reality, yeah, on the timeline, you see a lot of nothing, right? You see a lot of inaction, at least in terms of skirmishes and kills coming through. And I think that's very telling. Again, when we look back at MSI and the performances put up by Pykes, Mark, take it away. I mean, this set alone.
Forget today's games. I'm talking about this game. 0.46 combined kills per minute in a Pyke game. For MSI, when Pyke was top, it was over a kill a minute. You are just fundamentally not understanding what you're supposed to do with this champ. I don't care how you get the kills. I don't care if it's sloppy at first. You should be trading up in efficiency and kills. So even if you're 2 to 3 in kills, if Pyke gets an execute on one of them, it's even. It's even.
More money. You get more money.
Yeah,
right?
So it doesn't matter. Go flash Jarvan top on a gank you know is not going to work, so at least the Jace has to blow his flash, and then repeat gank. Make multiple concerted efforts. This was 1 kill in 27 minutes until they started killing themselves in the base to do these trade kills, and it was close.
Right.
You could have done this before the poke comp strangled the life out of you. Golden Guardians, to their credit, did a great job.
Yeah.
Smothering FlyQuest, and it's on FlyQuest to do something, because otherwise poke comp games are going to look like that. FlyQuest did nothing.
So this brings up an interesting conversation, because I think we always come back from international competition wondering how much not only the teams at that international tournament themselves will have learned or picked up, or but also teams that watched. What will they glean from that international composition? And I think what we're landing on is that, in large part, some of the picks that we saw find success at G2, other teams are trying to make, but it's about getting that understanding of how to make the pick work. You can't simply, select it, and they're a victory.
Right, you're
follows.
magically like, oh, I'll one win, please.
Yeah,
Pick Pike.
I wonder one with this, so I imagine if I pick it, I'll win too. It is about figuring out, okay, what does this pick do uniquely different from every other champion to either give my team advantages or how do I capitalize on the strengths and weaknesses of this champion to ultimately win games.
It's about getting people to half HP, Pike executes, and you do it as often as you can all the time. That's how it works.
And the other thing, on the flip side, Golden Guardians is like, nah, forget what we learned at MSI. Like, Jace is strong. Haunter's always been a good Jace. Froggen's a great Anivia. Tom Kench gets nerfed. Well, it's always best champ. We're still going to play it. Like, they're playing their style, and it looks really good for Golden Guardians. So, the takeaway from MSI was not play really aggressive and do everything crazy. It's play your style.
Right.
And I think Golden Guardians have figured that out.
Yeah, without a doubt. They sit at 2-0 right alongside Cloud9. So very happy undefeated opening weekends for both of these teams. On the flip side, you have Clutch and FlyQuest still searching for that first win, sitting down at the bottom of the table at 0-2, which I think, again, is a surprise considering FlyQuest was the team closest to challenging those top 3 in spring. And so to see them sitting at the bottom of the standings is a bit of a foreign feeling. We do have to recall, though, that their opponents this weekend were no slouches.
Yeah, they experimented, right? They started off with the Vi game, not something that anybody else is playing. Then they played the Pike, which I still think is experimenting here. For us in NA, for a lot of these teams, it's never happened before. It's not a style.
Pike feels like a Viper champion. It can be a Viper champion.
I think...
Yeah, but it's one that will lose lane, right? Like, that's the whole thing with Pike. You're not going to win lane, so you need to know how do you make the most out of this champion when you're expected to not provide much in the top part of the map early on.
I think it's not that bad because there are a number of times Viper would play Riven and have like middling, CSD numbers and forward percentage and all these laning stats that say he's not a great laner, but then he has big pop-off moments, which I think Pike should fit pretty well with.
Right.
It's just, it didn't come through this game, and I think the takeaway is not stop playing Pike because we're bashing the performance on it.
No.
You're not playing it right yet, and there's a lot of other things to learn beyond when to pick it and how to play with it.
It's just week 1. A lot of teams still trying to find their footing, but Golden Guardians come out on top, which means that Mark will follow Joel this week during our This or That and Dive tapings on Wednesday. We'll make sure that you can see how that goes next week on The Countdown. Echo Fox, though, they face off against Team Liquid on the other side of this break. If you want to follow, or rather see, how Yasui fares against Jensen, pick up ProView at watch.lolesports.com. The leveled-up watching experience that allows you to see players' POVs so you can follow every keystroke. Game 3 is coming up after this.